All right, Paulie, so let's dive in.
Okay.
So that was what I was going to ask, actually, because I seen that you took the plunge in business after working for someone, was it for 13
Almost
years?
13 years, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was with the trivia product Quiz-Me, which
Yeah,
is
yeah.
now Australia's #1 pub trivia provider.
Oh, wow.
But it was something that I started back in 2012 as my own little business.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I got the license from a very mysterious Italian guy that came over to Australia to obviously launch this product, and he found me hosting in a pub somewhere and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
came up and said, "I've got a potential business opportunity for you." And then it was about 6 months later, after I was working full time during the day, coming home, working on Quiz-Me at night, and
Wow.
repeating. 6 months later, I sat my wife down and said, "I want to quit my full time job and just do this
Yeah,
this
wow.
trivia." And
Wow.
she said yes. And then about 2 years later, I joined up with a national company, and they really helped me. Together, we grew it to now the largest in Australia.
Wow.
And then it was about 2 years ago, I actually handed it off to my offsider at the time to say, "Now you run it," because I'd done everything that I thought I could do. I achieved all my goals,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
knew there was more potential. And then I moved into a different role.
Yeah.
But then there was an opportunity at work for a redundancy. And it's funny because we had multiple products, but they decided to get rid of a couple. And they announced that the people that were working on those products were being made redundant. And then I was like, oh, if they're offering redundancies, I've got this business that I want to jump into.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I drafted an email to my boss, and I hovered over the send button because I'm like, if I send this, he's going to know that I want to leave. But at the same time, it's a great opportunity.
Yeah.
So I said, "No, I'm going to send it." And then he gave me a call and he said, "Look, if that's what you want, we can probably arrange it." So I was able to get that redundancy. Obviously, being there for almost 12 years, I had 12 years of long service leave, which I hadn't used. So that nice little payout is definitely going to help me get into this new business that I'm trying to get off the ground.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that jump after so long, how did that make you feel?
Look, initially it was a bit daunting, and talking to my wife about it again, and I feel sorry for her because I'm putting her through it again.
Yeah.
And this time we've got a kid and a mortgage and
sort of completely different,
different
isn't it?
situation.
Yeah.
But I knew it was the right time, and I'd lost the passion for this trivia product that was my life.
Yeah.
I was Quizmaster Paul. I had the Quizmaster number plates. At one stage, I had a fully wrapped car.
Wow.
Like I lived and breathed it.
Yeah.
And I loved it, but I'd lost that passion,
Right.
and it wasn't my product. It was something we licensed out of Europe, and because it wasn't mine, I now had this idea of a new product that was mine, and I'm like, I want to get back into that. I've been doing a lot of personal development, a lot of listening to podcasts and audiobooks, and Shark Tank's my favorite show. I pretty much smash that all the time.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I really wanted to do this.
Yeah.
And it's been almost 4 weeks this week. And it's been amazing.
Yeah.
I feel so much happier.
Yeah, nice.
I feel like I'm actually becoming a business owner.
Yeah, awesome.
I get to do things like sit down with you and talk about things, but also just little things like my dad had a routine procedure and he wasn't allowed to drive home.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Can you pick me up?" And I'm like, "Let me check my diary."
Yeah.
Nothing in my diary.
Yeah.
And so just little things like that is really nice as well.
The complete freedom.
And it's taken me a few weeks to kind of develop the new routine and be more disciplined with doing the work.
Yeah.
But I'm doing the work.
Yeah.
Keeping the kitchen clean.
Nice. Yeah.
So no, it's been really good. Really, really good mentally as well.
Yeah, and I think that's the key, really, isn't it? Is that adjustment, is being able to be disciplined and consistent. And it's something that you hear a lot, in the podcasts and YouTube channels. And, you're going to have bad days. You're going to have days where there's, lack of productivity.
Yeah.
But you just got to stay disciplined and consistent, and eventually keep knocking on those doors and it'll happen.
For me, it's about finding out what works. Like I know I'm very productive in the morning. So now I'm getting up early, I'm walking the dog, getting 3 or 4 hours of work done before lunch.
Yeah.
I now I've joined a new fitness class. So that's at 12:15.
Yeah, nice.
So that breaks up my day.
Yeah.
And then I know in the afternoon, if I'm not, if I've done a lot of work in the morning, then in the afternoon I can do things that don't need as much mental focus. So yeah, it's about systemizing. But it's about being consistent, and I've got a quote of the week on the board, which I update every week.
Yeah, nice.
This one is about being consistent and showing up every day. Even if you don't want to.
And that's it, that consistency and just keeping yourself motivated. What type of fitness is it you jumped into?
So I've always loved the group fitness. Like I've done F45, I've done BFT. This is a new one called Strong. It's a Pilates and cardio infusion. And it's funny because Pilates, people go, oh, Pilates, it's just for girls, but it's been kicking my butt.
Is it?
It's really challenging.
My missus keeps going on about going to Pilates, and I'm like, I just don't think I could do it. I don't have the flexibility.
It is hard at first, but you can scale it to what you want, because there's different like coloured springs, and because you're using your own body weight. Everyone's, even though you might be on the same setting, if you're bigger than someone else, you lift more because you're lifting your own. So it's been really good, because you just got to turn up as well. And I was going to the gym, but then I was getting bored, and you're sitting on your phone in between sets, and I wasn't pushing myself. I think I call myself a motivated lazy person. Like if I'm just there by myself, I'll be like, oh, whatever. But if I've got a trainer there,
then you pushing, that helps.
And I need the variety as well. Every class is different, so I like the fact that I'm never doing the same thing twice. So it's good. I've only done it a couple of weeks, but I'm really enjoying it.
Tell me about where the concept came for the new business, where the ideas came from, and how long had you been thinking about doing it before you actually?
I think it was about 2019. So a while ago, and I was at my mate Corey, and we've been mates for a long time. He's the one that's taken over from Quiz, and I was over for a few beers, as we often did. So I was sleeping on the couch, because being responsible, I'm not going to drive home, obviously. But it's about 7 o'clock in the morning. His roommate Lauren woke me up because she was doing some decoration thing, and I looked over and I'm like, Lauren, what are you doing? And she's like, oh, I'm making this decoration. I'm like, that looks fantastic. And it was for a hen's night, and she was doing some arch thing, and the entrepreneur brain started ticking over. I'm like, wow, this is really impressive. I said, what if other people could do this in like a kit form? Like you just give them the things and they do it themselves. So I started researching, and there was nothing like that online. But then there was nothing like in a kit form without having to do DIY. And I'm like, okay, I think there's something here. This whole, I call it the HelloFresh of decorating. So, because you can go online and buy everything, but you've got to scroll through different pages. And not everyone has everything. And it takes a lot of time and effort. And there's also what I call the Timu factor, which is, and it's happened to a friend of mine. They were running a 50th birthday for a partner, and she bought what she thought was a 2-meter happy birthday sign, and it was actually 20 centimeters. So then she had to run to the shops anyway. So it's about that integrity.
It's hilarious. I've done that before with something, and my brother's voice just came to my head because I've actually done it twice, and it's something silly like that where I've not actually read the description. I think back in the day I was young and I thought I bought some DVDs or CDs. Turns out I actually just bought like the DVD cover. Something stupid like that. I didn't read it properly.
So I thought, if there's no one doing these kits, I'm like, I'm going to do these kits.
Nice.
Came out with the name One Stop Box. Because I wanted something that wasn't necessarily party related, because I could see the future that it doesn't have to be necessarily parties, and having that kind of one-stop solution I thought could be applied to different options. So that's why I went away from the word party. And then I kind of sat on it for a few years, because I was very busy with the quiz. Something that was ticking along in the back of my mind. And then after COVID, I was like, I revisited it. I'm like, I registered the domain, and I started looking at some options. And then I said, right, I'm going to start with Halloween, because Halloween's busy. Everyone loves Halloween, and people spend a lot of money on Halloween. And I think I made about 3 of the classic mistakes. Is that I jumped in and bought a lot more stock than I should have.
I
overspent on stock. I bought all these extras and all these bigger stuff. I should have just gone with the small option, started small. And that was mistake number 1. Mistake number 2 was I just assumed that if I had a product to sell, people would buy it. So I was trying to sell a product rather than selling to a customer and to a set demographic. And the third mistake I made was I I didn't necessarily do the market research on that product. So I bought a lot of decorations last year, and I call it commercially unsuccessful.
Yeah.
It wasn't a failure. It was just commercially unsuccessful.
You learned a lot.
I learned a lot.
Yeah.
And it gave me the idea around, well, what do people want? So I realized that for themed events like Halloween, people don't necessarily want a solution for them. They want to be able to go and pick what they want. And people already have stuff. So then I thought, well, who needs stuff done for them? And then I thought, well, parents for kids' parties, because you have a set occasion, you have a set date, you have that need, and parents are busy, they're tired, they're running around for sports, and the last thing they want to do is spend 10 hours online going to 5 different retailers trying to pull everything together. So I realized that a party box for parents and for young kids, mainly primary school, is definitely a good option. And this time I just definitely did a lot of surveys. So I spent a lot of time reaching out to some people I hadn't spoken to for years. I'm like, hey, can you do my survey? So I got probably close to 150 responses, which I was really happy with. And that's
a great amount of data.
And the data was really good around the themes that people wanted, some of the concepts, some of the ideas. And so I was really really confident this was a good idea. I spoke to a lot of people about the idea, a lot of strangers, and people were like, oh, this is fantastic. A lot of people saying, I wish this was around when my kids were young. So it comes down to that painkiller versus a supplement. So if you want to be healthy and you want to eat more supplements, if you don't have the supplement, it doesn't matter. Whereas if you have a headache, you're like, I need that painkiller. And a kid's party solution for a parent who's tired is a painkiller solution. And I've done some of my customer personas, and one of my customer personas is this divorced dad. He's never run a kids party before. His ex-wife, has said to him, you have to organize the kids party. He's got no idea what he's doing. He discovers One Stop Box. He's like, this is fantastic. He's got everything organized. He's got all the games, the playlists, the run sheets, and the ex-wife's sitting there going, how did Gary organize this? And he's just sitting there.
That is the best idea for a ad that I've ever heard. That is great. You can put that into video form and get that onto social media. I think that's fantastic. I'm sure you've got loads of other ideas like that as well.
I do, and it's I love being in, like, it's pretty much the last thing I think about at night, and the first thing I think about in the morning. I'm just living in this world of party boxes and getting the concept going. And again, this time I'm doing it properly. So I've gotten someone to redo my branding, all my colors, my logo.
Nice.
A lovely girl out of South Africa. Did a fantastic job. Looks really good.
How'd you find her?
So I joined an e-com coaching program. And so my coach recommended her. So that's been really good, because I definitely see the value in a mentor or a coach, because as much as I've grown a business and I've seen it scale, I haven't done e-com before. And I haven't done this type of industry before. And at the time, I was still working full time. So I knew I didn't have time to work things out myself and make as many mistakes. So it wasn't a shortcut. It was about getting the right advice to stay on track. So that's been really good, working with him. And now I'm talking to my Chinese supplier at the moment about getting some samples. So I've gone through, and I'm starting with 10 kids themes. Dinosaurs definitely one of them.
Brilliant.
And just having essentially a small and a medium. But at the end of the day, the decorations that I'm supplying for people aren't really necessarily that different to what they can find online. But I've done the research with some of the retailers that you would instantly think of to get these decorations. They just don't have everything. So you still have to go to multiple stores. And the other difference is I'm providing the extra value, because it's not about the decorations. It's about what you do at the party and how do you keep the kids occupied. So I'm also going to be including games to play, access to kid-friendly playlists, invites, run sheets, hints and tips, food ideas, and also eventually get into some upsells, like working with entertainment companies to upsell children's entertainers, working with children centers. So if there's an art class kids party, we can say, hey, you can upsell our decoration boxes, and you can obviously take a commission. And so it's about developing those partners.
I can tell you've really thought about it.
I've got a lot of ideas.
I think I'm buying into it already. I think great concept, very well thought about. and I reckon I could definitely help as well. Like I've got a database. So Inflatable Fun Park, this will be the 6th year in the Southeast. I think my database is at about 4,500
Okay.
parents locally.
Mm-hmm.
The whole database is about 20,000, but that's in earlier years it was very kind of not well organized or thought through. So like the 4,500 from the last 2 years of the attractions that we've done. So I'd love to see it once it's all ready to go and see a sample, and yeah, it could definitely help out. I actually just started inviting people to come to some of the events as well, to pop up a stall for exposure. So I did that at the Southeast Winter Festival that I ran in winter time.
Yes.
So yeah, a couple of opportunities there as well.
I definitely want to get out to markets and
I seen you built a shed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
How was that?
So that was good. So it's been a bit of a journey getting. So we had a cubby house.
Yeah.
And it was falling down, and my daughter didn't use it, so got rid of that.
Yeah.
Had the trampoline. Daughter wasn't using that; it was falling apart, so got rid of that. And then put a slab in. And then put the shed in. I had some guys out yesterday actually to attach it to the concrete properly.
Yeah.
And then they sealed it all.
Yeah, nice.
Make it nice and watertight. So the idea is that, because I've got a garage, so everything in my garage is going into the shed.
Yeah.
So that's the bikes, the tools, the beer fridge, the dryer, and then I'm going to have an empty space in my garage, and that's going to be the warehouse. That's going to be a one-stop box warehouse. Yeah. And then I've already got a little office. When we first moved in, I pretty much dropped an office in there. So then I'll have office and warehouse at home.
Yeah, brilliant.
And hopefully that'll last the next couple of years.
Yeah.
But when I outgrow it, that means the business is obviously growing. Yeah. And then I'll probably move into a 3PL.
Yeah, nice
situation. But to have no ongoing warehousing costs when I'm starting up will be really, really good.
I would agree. So that's actually what I've done. Well, it's slightly different. So I used to use the double garage back when I was really growing the business. What I then did was I went and rented other houses with double garages and sublet the rooms.
Okay.
And then I would use the double garages.
Okay.
I got to a point where I had 4 rental properties.
Okay.
Really risky way of doing it, but at the time it was so easy to find people to rent the rooms.
Yeah.
So the way I was renting them is I would go $250 for the room, included all the bills and internet.
Yeah.
And I just, honestly, I'd put an ad up, and about 3-4 days later, people would just come in, wanted rooms.
Yeah.
And then I was a light bulb moment. I thought, well, you always would get a 4-bedroom house with 3 en suites. Always. So basically everybody had their own bathroom.
Okay.
So then people just loved it, wanted it, and I was getting $250 per room, 4 rooms, and I was only paying like, at the time, $380 to $450 for the rent per week, and bills, believe it or not, with 4 people who would, it used to do my head in at the start. They'd leave the aircon on all night, then in the winter leave the heating on, and it was a bit of a mess. So we'd have to get cleaner in every couple of months because they did a little bit of tidying up, but didn't really look after it. But I was making about $300 a week per property.
That's great.
Yeah. I was like,
and you get a free double garage.
Exactly. And sometimes it caused me a couple of problems. I'm talking like over 3-4 years, where I'd have an event on the weekend and one of the lads or whatever had gone out the night before and their car's in the driveway. Everyone knew you can't park in the driveway on the weekends. During the week, not a problem. On the weekends, if I needed to access the equipment, I needed to access the equipment.
Yeah.
So it caused me a couple of problems, but I'll just go in and get the keys. Everyone knew me, I knew them. It was great. To the point where I've always said to myself, once I get a team around me that can actually run my business so I don't have to be involved so much, that's actually something that I think I want to do. Get into property management on a larger scale.
Okay.
And I genuinely found it so easy. It's one of them things where I was just thought like, just printing money here.
And did you get permission from the
owners? So that's the tricky part. 2 I had permission, 2 I didn't.
Okay.
So so what had happened, I moved from the western suburbs to the eastern suburbs. I actually got a house in Cranbourne North, rented. Great. 6-car garage and a shed out the back. There's a pool as well. Brilliant. $460 a week in rent. I couldn't believe it. Right? I'd never had a pool in the garden before, so I loved it. Probably used the pool 3 times in like 3 years. But they actually found out that I was subletting, and for about a year we were going backward and forward. They wanted me to move everybody out, and I'm like, well, rent's getting paid, we're looking after the properties, very comfortable, blah blah blah. Yeah, but in the end, they gave us the notice because they said I've breached the contract, and that kind of was a bit of a downfall for me. Then I kind of went on not a downfall, but I had to get another little crappy apartment, and it was a nightmare. But then I started letting go. I had a property in Hoppers Crossing. The couple ended up taking on the lease there, and they wanted the house to themselves for some strange reason. And they follow me on Facebook. I still chat to the lad every now and again. I'll never know why. They reached out to the agent and asked, can they put it in their name instead of mine? And the agent clocked on, well, if Craig's not living there anymore, we're going to have to terminate the lease. So they shot themselves in the foot. So they had to, that went on for about 6-7 months as well. And it was never kind of like a nasty thing going back and forward with the real estate agent. It was a simple thing like, well, we can't just move out. There's people living there. They've got to find another place. But anyway, I went to a business networking group or one of those kind of days where they talk about business, whatever. I can't even remember what it was.
Like a BNI?
Yeah, no, but it was. It'll come to me. It'll definitely come to me because he's quite successful. He's run a few businesses and he's got a big. I was going to say Entourage. Entourage? Have you heard of that?
Yeah.
I think it was that. I went. Long story short, there was a guy doing what I was doing with the 3-4 rentals. Hundreds he was doing, and it blew my mind. I thought I'd be the only one. Like I never imagined someone's actually done a business out of it.
There's a lot of people doing that with Airbnb now.
They
rent out.
Yeah,
and they talk to the landlord about it.
So this is what he gave me a few tips. He goes, he runs it through the business. Pure contract, long-term contracts. He doesn't do year by year. He'll do 3 years, 3 plus 3. And what he actually does is goes to the the sort of wealthier suburbs, the nicer suburbs, picks a nice house, furnishes it all, real investment, and then he gets, affluent clients in. He'll take long-term leases with a property that's fully furnished, ready to go in great areas. His margins were a little bit smaller. It's about $80 to $150 per week he would get. But he was always confident the client was always going to look after the house. It was long-term. And he scaled it, and he was just about to go into America. Well, that would have been about 4 years ago, I reckon. Wow. 5 years ago. I wonder how he's doing now, actually. He'd be doing really well.
The renting market is crazy because there's not enough houses for people.
Yeah. But it's like, then you think you've got people like doing that. And there'd be more people, as you say, if he's doing it, and I was thinking about doing it, there'd be a lot more people that are actually doing it.
Absolutely.
Then you've got property owners that have multiple properties.
And there's also more apps these days that help people manage those properties and automate some of the bookings and some of the, the keypad access, so they can just automate all of that. So
and AI, it's only going to get better and better. So I just seen, is it Gemini? Google. I do little bits of AI, but like yourself and most other business owners, I guess, so busy, it's hard to just give a period of time to really try and learn and educate yourself. But I think there's this term, you might have heard of it, like AI agent.
Yeah.
So apparently Gemini, again, I haven't sat down and looked into it, but Gemini has now given you the opportunity to have an AI agent with actually having to go through all the programming. It's a simple format that you can just create your own AI agent and it'll do certain tasks and stuff.
I've started touching on some of the agents and
Did you?
And trying to get it working. Yeah. When I got a bit more time.
Yeah.
I definitely want to start posting on LinkedIn more. And
I've been saying that for years.
I want to create an agent so I can just give it some prompts and create the article. And obviously you can feed in some of your other writing so we can learn how you write.
I was using, is it the software called N8N? I came across this on a YouTube video, and when I first heard about these AI agents, that's what they were talking about using. It's quite a simple way to do it, but it's cost. So like every time it does a task, it costs 5 cents.
Okay.
But then when you go from, let's say, scrape the data out of your Gmail account, for example, to then create a database and then reformat it to go hot, cold leads, it's 5 cents, 5 cents, 5 cents. And if you do it for 100 contacts, it adds up. And it's kind of like, well, for just trying to take a bit of a plunge into it and learn, it's not really cost effective at the moment. But it's like ChatGPT, I'm sure like everybody uses it now. I think it's $30 a month US.
That's what I use. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I use Opus Pro. I think I actually paid for the year for that. I think it might have been $180 for the year. I use Canva, obviously, like it's not really AI, and then I use. Have you heard of 11 Labs?
Yeah.
The voice one. Again, very like I've just scratched the surface, but I've been using it for a while because I use it to do my voiceovers for the events. So, like for the dinosaur one, it's called Dino Dave. So he's our park ranger. He does all the safety messages and stuff, which is great. But yeah, I mean, you add them up. It's like it's probably $150 a month just for that, and it's like you use it once or twice a month or whatever. It's going to add up, isn't it?
I think though that as long as you're getting the ROI, like you're saving yourself hours and hours, especially some of the automation that I know is possible. I actually just bought, I think it was 15 US. Yesterday I bought an AI access to this AI platform that's got all these different prompts and different education tools and got courses. It was a one-off cost.
Yeah.
And 15 US, I thought, well, what's that, like 20, 25 bucks?
Yeah.
To get access to all of these prompts and to be able to help set up things. I thought if I can save myself a bit of time, especially that I'm at the start and I can potentially do things properly from day one, then I thought it was worth a plunge. And I've been following him for a while and seeing a lot of his videos, and a lot of the stuff he was doing was quite efficient. So I thought if I can get my $15 value, then it'll be worth it.
I think it's hard now to envision life without ChatGPT, for example.
I talk to mine a lot.
Yeah, so do I.
I'll go on
in the car. I love it.
In the car, walking the dog.
Yeah.
It helped me with locking in my slogan, my tagline for my business. I had about 3 or 4, and I was just chatting to it, and we narrowed it down. And then I had 2 different options of the same thing, and I locked it in.
I'm all for it. I'm waiting for the day where I can just wake up and then, she goes, "Good morning, Mr. White. Today you've got to think about this, this, and that, and don't forget about the thing that you said 3 days ago that you still haven't done."
It's Jarvis from
Yes. Honestly, I can't wait.
Craig, now be honest. Have you given your AI a name?
No, I actually haven't. No, okay. Do you know what? You're laughing. I shouldn't say this.
You can edit it out.
The amount of times I say to the AI, "Don't forget to call me Mr. White."
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's great. I think what's the word? Psychology 101, where you're talking to people and you call them by their name, and it gives that warm feeling and that connection's a bit stronger. I don't know. Maybe that's where it comes from. But when it calls me, and sometimes my nickname's Whitey, sometimes when it calls me Whitey, and when it's typing it says Whitey, I don't know. It just makes it more real, I suppose.
Mine calls me DJ.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I told it to.
Yeah, nice.
Mine's called Ava.
Yeah.
Which is AI virtual assistant. I'm not very imaginative, but I thought that was easy.
I can't wait to see where it goes. Obviously, ChatGPT 5 just came out. It's an auto update. Supposedly it's an update. But what I am finding is on ChatGPT 5 in comparison to 4, it takes a lot longer.
It's a bit slower. Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah.
And I've heard it's not as personable.
Yeah, so I just keep going back to answer 4.
Yeah.
It's taking too long, which is ironic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's taking 30 seconds instead of 10.
Yeah.
Waiting so long.
To help you with something. But that's how I'm doing a lot of at the moment. I'm doing a lot of my training briefs for the VAs overseas. I find it so hard to actually create time in the day, but I really need to focus on getting the girls up to scratch on a wider project, not just so what they've just been focusing on is like our Instagram, basically. So the key things for my marketing is influencers coming to our events. So we've got DM, to be honest, we'll DM 1,000 people in a week, and we might get 15, 20 back. I think it's difficult, and it's just got to be constant. We'll comment and we'll like just to get exposure with our little tag and everything like that. And then we're doing Facebook posts, which we're sharing to a lot of the groups until we get kicked out. That's kind of what the basis of it was, and then it was going to grow. But I really need to just sit down and kind of go through the vision with them, because they're not they're coming from complete different backgrounds. They're not in events and they're not in marketing, and it's,
Yeah.
you know, unfortunately, I'm not in a position where I can go out and get local marketers here and pay them $40-$50 an hour.
One of my friends was talking about overseas talent because he uses it quite a bit, and he made a really good point that if they're doing a good job, ask them if they need any hardware to make their life easier, and that could just be a monitor, like a second screen.
Yeah.
And for a couple $100, if you say, you know, oh, Susie, you're doing a great job. I'm going to send you another. What do you need? You need another monitor? I'm going to send you one. You keep it, even if we stop working together. You keep it, because if that makes her 10 or 20% more efficient,
it was so valuable.
You're going to, and not only will she appreciate that, she'll be loyal. But if it increases her output for a couple $100 as a one-off, I just thought that was really good idea. And even my friends actually bought them a computer.
Nice.
Because he said they were so integral. I'm gonna soup up your and just get a second-hand one.
Well, I'm just looking at now. Funny you say that. I'm looking at the tablets with the keyboards, but I've sent it to my agent to see what she can find there, because I sent her a photo of the Apple tablet. I'm like, it's $2,000. I went to JB Hi-Fi the other day. I was like, can't really justify buying a few of them. I wouldn't even buy one for myself at the moment. So she's going to try and have a look and send it to the girls, because, as I say, I think what I've been doing is creating what I'm saying is foundations in bits and pieces, just getting the basics going to create that foundation to really grow. So now, as I say, I've got the 4 girls. They're on top of what my brands are, what the businesses are, and what I expect from the simple stuff. Is now we're really going to try and grow it and essentially turn it into a digital marketing agency. And it's almost like my own businesses have been like the trial. Like, I've just took the plunge and gone, look, it works for me. This is how we get exposure for our events or our brands. So I think we're probably 3 to 6 months away from trying to onboard clients now.
That's great.
So that's why I want to get them their own gear. I actually spoke about getting an office with Darby, so like they can all come together. But she said they don't need one. They love going to the cafe and have their coffee, and they just sit in the cafe together every week. And it's like, brilliant. Like, if you guys like that, it's fantastic. But yeah, I had all these ideas, let's say, to get a little office, bring a team together, do training days, probably once or twice a year, fly out myself, and haven't been there yet. So Darby's been with me, as I say, since September last year, so almost a year.
I've been using a Filipino graphic designer. Yeah, nice. I've just written a cookbook for dads.
Yeah, brilliant.
Which is 98% finished.
Yeah.
So I wrote it like 3 or 4 years ago. Got all the photos professionally done. Nice. Cost a lot of money, but they look fantastic. Yeah. And then obviously working with her to do the layout, make it look pretty. Yeah. So I'm just going to finish the index. Yeah. And she's doing the cover at the moment. And then,
how far off do you think you are from being ready to publish that?
Well, yeah, as I said, just going to do the cover and the index, and then I'm just going to find a printer.
Yeah, nice.
I was originally going to try and get it ready for Father's Day, but finishing up at my old job, because I was handing over a lot of stuff. I actually worked, in that last 5 weeks, I think I worked harder than I did in the last 5 months.
Right, just to get it,
handing over and creating all the SOPs and all the structure and everything. So that delayed it a bit, but get definitely ready for Christmas.
Yeah, nice.
But yeah, I really like working with overseas talent.
Yeah.
I think the communication's really good. Obviously the price point's great.
Yeah.
But also supporting some people that need to work as well.
No, that's great. So what's next? What's next for you? So you just, was it 4 to 5 weeks sort of since you've been in the last position?
So at the moment, the main focus is selling all my excess Halloween stock.
Yeah, okay. What have you got? I'm doing a Halloween event this year.
Oh, I've got everything. I'll send you the website.
Yeah.
So I was doing the kits.
Yeah.
So obviously the HelloFresh type style, but now I put everything online, so you can buy everything individually.
Oh, nice.
So it's everything from LEDs, lightings, inflatables,
oh wow,
plates, cups, balloons, everything.
Yeah,
little skeleton animals.
Yeah.
I put it all on massive sale because I just want to move it. So yesterday I spent most of the day posting to Facebook pages that I'm in, so Halloween pages, community pages, and party pages.
Yeah.
And in the last 24 hours, I've had 7 sales.
Wow.
Which I'm absolutely stoked about.
Yeah.
And I had a realization yesterday that they were all strangers. And I'm like, oh my God, people that don't know me actually bought from me.
Yeah,
and that was a bit of a moment as a new business to be like, okay, it's not just my friends and family that are going to buy my stuff. It's actually people that have no idea. They've gone to my website, they've seen the stuff, they've put it in their cart, and they've given me their hard-earned money. So everything's in my storage locker at the moment in randomly packed boxes. So it takes a long time to pick pack.
Don't even talk to me about inefficiency in storage. You should see the state of my place. I went there yesterday. It's like, oh my God, the anxiety was unreal. Honestly, I'm so overwhelmed. I've got 2 large sheds and 8 containers.
Wow.
Yeah, full of. I've got so much gear now. So hopefully you'll shift that Halloween stuff. Have you got like a lot of stuff? Like how
it's
much
like
is
a storage. Yeah, it's like a storage locker full. Wow. So there's a lot of stuff. A lot of it's already boxed up, ready to go. So I am selling. I've renamed it a starter pack. I will reach out to some businesses. So I'm going to go to my gym and say, can I sponsor your Halloween? And I'll give them free decorations so I can put up some posters, and then I'll try and go, oh, you're a franchise. Perhaps we can put it through your franchise. I might go to some of those $2 shops and see if they want to buy some stuff in bulk. But otherwise, I just need to try and get out there. I'm going to do a lot of guerrilla marketing. So I'm going to go. I've convinced my brother, who's doing this business with me, to dress up as Mario and Luigi and go hit up Center Road with some flyers and just try and get out to people. And last night I joined about 30 local community pages where I live. And so this afternoon I'll be posting to them because the beauty about making sales in my local area is that I don't have to pay for postage because I'll just go drop it off.
Drop it off,
So there was 2 large orders that came through out of the 7 that were local. So I'm like, great, I'll just drop them off. So yes, at the moment I'm trying to get Halloween stock cleared so that I can reinvest that money into the business and get rid of the storage locker because I can obviously use my shed. At the same time, I'm working with my buyer's agent in China to get samples for the kids' boxes. So I've identified all the items I've needed. I've put together the items. So we're just working on samples at the moment. And then once I finalise the samples, I'll be getting that ready to sell later this year. So I'll be redoing the website, moving to Shopify because I'm on Squarespace at the moment, but I definitely want to be on Shopify. So I'm going to get someone to redo the website. I'll need to get some photos. I am working on a solution, an AI solution where I can upload my decorations and it will create an image that shows the decorations in the situation. I want to build that because then if I add more themes, when I add more themes down the track, I can just plug in those themes and get it to create them. But eventually, I'd love to have this plugin available on my website. So if you take a photo of your lounge room,
brilliant.
You can upload it and you see what the decorations look like in your space. I think that will help people make that decision if they can see it. Because obviously, you buy a packet of balloons, it's that big. But if you blow them up, and you see them, oh wow, that looks really great. So the decorations will look very different to how they come in a packet to how they look on the wall. So it's website and it's setting up the systems. So setting up the warehouse, setting up the printers and how do I ship stuff and working out all those things. There's a lot of that's one-off costs. And systemizing it, but I'd love to be able to launch the boxes by the end of the year. These things always take longer than you think. So I'm buying essentially 10 of each box to start with. And hopefully I can sell out fairly quickly and just start turning over that stock.
And you got your themes already set in mind?
Yep, so I've got dinosaurs. So I'm targeting more the primary school age to start with. So dinosaurs. I've got a glow party, like a disco type theme. I've got pink and blue, which may also suit the 1 and 2 year old birthdays where they may not have a theme. What else we got? I've got Frozen, Minecraft. I've got Halloween. Obviously, I made a box for Halloween. I've got a sports one.
Nice.
As well.
There's clearly a lot of synergies between our business as well.
Absolutely.
I've got silent disco headsets.
Oh yeah.
So for the glow parties, that could be good. I've got a Frozen jumping castle. So it can definitely kind of do cross collaboration and offer packages to clients that way as well.
When I build my website, I want to definitely say to them, I want the option to be able to have upsells that are location based. Because I want to be able to upsell things like frozen jumping castles
Yeah,
or
yeah.
a frozen entertainer,
Yeah.
but just locally first,
Yeah.
and then eventually branch
Yeah,
out.
yeah, yeah.
Because I mean, already some of my old quizmasters
Mm.
are children's entertainers, so I've got a
Yeah.
couple that I could call up and say, hey, I want to try
Yeah.
this with you.
Yeah.
But also, you know, if you're selling a frozen jumping castle,
Yeah.
you can then say, hey, do you want some decorations?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then
100%.
and you can upsell
Yeah.
them, and
Especially if it's in a box.
it's a
Do you know
kit.
what I mean? Like it's there.
It's
It's
there.
just easy. Like it couldn't be any easier.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I think that's where I've got an advantage over some of my competitors, because if you said to them, oh, here's $100 voucher for, you know, this online party supply store, but you have to go on and buy them all, parents will be like, I don't have time for that. Whereas if you said, hey, for $100, you can get all these decorations done for you.
Yeah.
And this is what you get.
I think you mentioned earlier, say 10 hours, I think you mentioned.
Yeah.
But it's not 10 hours in one stint. It's probably like 30 minutes here and there in between doing other tasks. And before you know it, the week's gone, then 2 weeks. And it's like, oh the deadline for the party is getting closer and closer.
Yes.
That's why with what you've got coming up is fantastic, because it's there.
That's right.
I assume you're working on the clicks to check out. That kind of stuff's very important for sales. So you're literally like 3 to 5 clicks.
Yes.
Wait for the box to be delivered.
Well, that's it. You pick your theme.
Yeah.
And then there'll be some add-ons.
Yeah.
So you can get, you know, all the cutlery if you want. And, you know, there might be obviously plates and some other bits and pieces that I'll look at. And
brilliant data drive as well, when you mentioned about the forms that you were going to create, you know, whether it's the party ideas, the party games, you can put that on as a data drive. So add in their email and they get sent as PDF.
I'm going to give them a choice.
Yeah.
Say, so for the small box, you might get, say, a choice of 2 games, and for the large box, you get a choice of 4 games.
Yeah.
But I'm going to do things like, if you don't like the games, just let me know, and you can just pick another one. Like it's about creating those assets and then being able to resell them each time. I also want to do things like a video file. So you're running a party at home. You've got this big 70-inch TV that's sitting in the lounge room. If I can give you a frozen wasteland video that's 10 minutes and it loops, all of a sudden your TV becomes part of the decorations.
Yeah.
Because everyone has a TV.
Yeah.
Rather than being a big black square, it's kind of in the background.
Yeah.
So I want to either sell that as an add-on or just include it as a great value add.
Yeah.
And even if it cost me $100 to create it, which I could probably get AI to do it for me down the track, it's another value add. So I really want to add that value in, so that parents can just be like, I've got everything I need. I can just relax. And when I did my survey, one of the questions is, what's the most important thing? Is it, you know, price? Is it value? And I was really happy that the overwhelming response was having the kids be happy. And I'm like, that's great. Parents, at the end of the day, they just want their kids to be happy. And if I can just shortcut that for them, then that'll make my life easier. And their life easier. But then, obviously, I want to start with kids' parties because that's a clear demographic. And I can talk to them. I'm a parent. I know parents. But then eventually I want to move into other things like hens nights, bucks nights, gender reveals, your other milestone birthdays, your 21st, 30th, 40th, 80s nights, pet boxes.
Pet boxes would be a great one.
So
I think.
Just expand
Maybe we cut that out so nobody else takes it. I reckon that would be a great one. People love pets.
A lot of ideas I've got to expand it. There's a whole corporate model which I haven't even touched on with you yet. So going to a chain, let's say Boost. I go, all right, Boost, you want to do a marketing campaign for, let's say, Halloween. We're going to design a box just for your footprint. We'll brand it for you. And we'll get every store in Australia to look the same. And then you have a marketing initiative where you're using your socials to drive people into your retail store. Because say there's an inflatable ghost. Take a selfie with the Boost ghost and go in the running to win free Boost for a year. So all of a sudden, all their socials look pretty. People are tagging Boost.
Engagement's huge.
And the cost of that compared to billboards and TV or anything is going to be quite affordable. But if I've got 200 locations that are all the same box, there's potential for me to order that and have it packed in China and ready to go. And I've already done the research on chains that have more than 50 or 100 locations, gyms, chemists, banks, and they might choose different themes. Like OPSM, for example, they're probably not going to do Halloween, but they might do Mother's Day.
Yeah.
So it's about going to these chains and saying, how can I help you through your socials drive people into your retail locations? Because especially post-COVID, people are doing a lot of things online. So if there are businesses out there that want people visiting their retail spaces again, that's the angle from a marketing perspective that I want to hit.
Yeah.
And the sales cycle is obviously going to be a lot harder and a lot longer, but the payoff is, if I get an order for 300 boxes, then that's going to be a lot more higher value, and it's all pre-order essentially.
Yeah.
So that corporate model is definitely on the cards. Phase 2, maybe. Let's get some kids.
It's good. That's exciting, and I don't know if you're feeling it right now, but having those ideas to grow into is what keeps the belly tingling, if you like. It just keeps that vision growing and growing. And my missus hates that I buy stuff all the time, because the vision 10 years ago was not what it is today, and I was sort of trying to explain to her, like, the vision just continuously grows every day. New opportunities come. With conversation comes opportunities, and then you see synergies with other people or other businesses, and it's like, well, just constantly evolving. And that's what's so exciting about business. So exciting.
I've always been a big thinker, and my wife's also the same. She's like, oh, you're not getting ahead of yourself. I'm like, no, I need to dream big because I've always done that. And it's funny, when I was cleaning up my files after leaving the quiz, I found a file that I made, and I wrote down all the things I wanted to do. And I mean, this was like 12 years ago. And I was looking at it, and I'm like, tick, tick, tick. All these things I ticked off over that journey. And I hadn't revisited that for a long time, but I could see that even from day one, I was thinking long term. And with the quiz business, I knew this was going to be a big thing. I didn't know how or why or how I could get there, but I'm like, I know this is going to work. And I feel the same way about this business. And I feel lucky that I've essentially got another chance to bring something to market. That's potentially a niche, because the quiz is a buzzer quiz.
Oh, nice.
So it's all no pens or paper.
Wow.
And it was the first buzzer concept in Australia.
Right.
And it was a real kind of people, oh, this is cool. No one's ever done this before. And now there's obviously competitors out there that have copied the concept and similar products. But I feel the same way about this business, is that no one's done anything like this. And I almost feel like I can create a new niche. Because the meal kit delivery business 10 years ago didn't exist. And people can go to the supermarket and buy groceries, and then go online and get free recipes. But they don't want to. They want someone, just send me a box of ingredients. And
there's plenty of them now as well.
And there is it's $1 billion industry. So I feel like not only is that a proven model, there's definitely customers out there that like that model. And people these days, especially parents, will be like, if you can save me time, I have money. If I give you money, can you make my life easier? I'm like, yes. So I'm really excited about that model, and then rolling it out.
Nice. I'm sitting here. I'm already excited to have another coffee with you, saying 6 months. I can't wait. Honestly, I can't wait. Hopefully in 6 months you'll be bringing a party box here.
That's right. Yes.
And that'd be great. That'd be great.
Absolutely.
So I wanted to obviously try and finish every podcast on a similar question. And the question is sort of along the lines of, if you could see yourself 10 years ago, what advice would you give yourself in terms of getting into business? And because obviously you've just taken that plunge now after, working with someone else for 13 years. Now you're sort of taking another plunge, but what would you sort of say to yourself?
Look, I suppose part of what I tell myself is to make sure I keep some equity. Because I gave away at the time my wife was pregnant, and she was the major breadwinner. And so I was like at this situation where like, what are we going to do? And I was actually at the Pubs and Clubs Expo exhibiting. I had to borrow money from my parents to be there. And that's where I met the company that came up to me and saw the product and said, we want this. And basically said, hey, we want this. We'll give you a job. We'll help you. And at the time, going on to a salary was all I could see, that consistent income. Whereas now I'd probably say, look, maybe either do a joint venture with them to keep some equity, or back yourself and start licensing or franchising it yourself. Because I could have kept the master license and then had other people running it before me and kind of built this quiz franchise. It may not have been the same concept it is now, because it's kind of like the McDonald's of quiz, because it's, you know, the format's similar across the business, and it's one company that's running the whole thing. And the vision was always the product being successful, not necessarily me making lots of money, although I have gotten a return on my investment and had a great job and had a lot of opportunity and learnt a lot. But sometimes I wish I would have gotten into business 13 years ago, because I've worked really hard to grow this business, and now that business makes millions of dollars of revenue per year. But now I've left the business, and now I don't necessarily see any of that. Although there is a corporate arm of the business that I am a shareholder in, which is the events, where we do corporate and fundraising and special events, which we can talk about as well. So I do have a little bit of that, but I suppose the best advice I would be was to back myself back then.
Just so take the plunge. Just if you got the idea and you know you're hungry for business, just start. Get into it.
That's right. But on the other hand, what I've learnt in the last 13 years running a business and scaling a business, I think has brought me to this position now where I feel a lot more comfortable doing it again. And this time I've got a much better network. I'm doing more education, and I feel like I'm in a better space mentally, not only from a business owner, but also from, you know, being positive, being healthy. You know, just getting out there and doing things and taking opportunities, like sitting down for podcasts and just networking and just being more of a getting out there.
Nice. You reckon you're going to join us for a coffee catch up with the networking group soon?
Well, now that I don't have a full-time job, I definitely have the time.